The mobilization of militias in Caracas was carefully choreographed for both domestic and international audiences. State television broadcast footage of thousands of Venezuelans marching with banners of Simón Bolívar, chanting against imperialism and pledging loyalty to Maduro. Analysts believe such displays are designed to signal resilience, to demonstrate that Venezuela is prepared for a prolonged standoff and that ordinary citizens are willing to defend the revolution. The government's message was clear. Venezuela's crisis is not just between two presidents, but between two systems, one that resists foreign intervention and another that seeks to impose it. Maduro's framing of the crisis as continental rather than national is deliberate. By stating that an attack on Venezuela would be the beginning of a catastrophic war in the Caribbean and South America, he sought to broaden the stakes. The warning taps into historic memories in Latin America of US interventions, from Central America in the 1980s to the Dominican Republic in the 1960s. Venezuelan officials argue that if Washington proceeds against Caracas, it could destabilize neighboring Colombia, Brazil, and beyond, potentially drawing the region into conflict. Regional leaders have remained cautious, while some governments, particularly Colombia, have echoed US criticism of Maduro. Others, including Mexico and several Caribbean states, have called for dialogue and restraint. For Maduro, the speech was not only about confronting Washington, but also about consolidating domestic power. By invoking the threat of a catastrophic war, he reinforced the idea that his leadership is indispensable in safeguarding the nation. Observers note that framing Venezuela as a besieged fortress has long been a key tactic of his administration. In times of economic crisis, hyperinflation, and international isolation, rallying citizens against an external enemy provides a unifying narrative. The introduction of a constitutional decree further expands his control, bringing civil institutions, the military and militias under a single chain of command. The date of the speech was no coincidence. On September 23rd, world leaders gathered at the United Nations in New York for the General Assembly. While Maduro was not physically present, his address from Caracas was timed to coincide with global discussions on peace, security, and multilateralism. The message was intended not only for Venezuelans, but also for international observers, that Venezuela views itself as a victim of aggression, not a perpetrator of instability. By invoking the entire republic and all institutions, Maduro positioned Venezuela as unified in the face of external threats.